I didn't just love you. I built my entire world around you. Every dream I shaped, every plan I made, had your name quietly written into it. You were the center of my days and the calm at the end of every night. When life felt heavy, I believed you were the reason it made sense. I trusted you with a kind of innocence I didn't even know I possessed. Our life together wasn't perfect, but it felt real. Morning routines turned into unspoken rituals, and late-night conversations felt like promises that didn't need to be said out loud. I learned the sound of your footsteps, the way your silence meant more than your words, and the comfort of knowing you were there, even when nothing else felt steady. I gave without counting. Time, patience, forgiveness. I offered them freely because I believed love worked that way. I ignored the small changes at first. The delayed replies. The distracted smiles. The way your eyes no longer searched for mine in crowded rooms. I told myself love evolves, that comfort sometimes looks like distance. I defended you when doubt whispered. I silenced my own questions because trusting you felt safer than facing what the answers might be. I adjusted myself to fit into your changing world, shrinking my needs so yours could breathe. I thought that was love, sacrifice without limits. Every memory I created had you in it. The places we went, the laughter we shared, the quiet moments that felt too sacred to name. I believed we were building something unbreakable, brick by brick, moment by moment. I didn't realize I was the only one still building. I thought loyalty was mutual. I thought love meant choosing the same person every day, even when it was difficult. I didn't know that while I was investing my whole heart, you were slowly walking away from it. By the time I sensed something was truly wrong, my world was already leaning on a foundation that had begun to crack. And I was still standing there, believing it would hold. The truth didn't arrive loudly. There was no dramatic confrontation, no raised voices or slammed doors. It came quietly, through fragments, half-truths, and a silence that suddenly felt heavier than words. When I finally understood what you had done, it felt like the ground disappeared beneath me. You didn't deny it. That hurt more than any lie could have. Your honesty came too late, offered only when there was nothing left to protect. I searched your face for regret, for something that looked like the love I remembered. What I found instead was distance, an emotional absence that confirmed what my heart had already begun to fear. I replayed every moment in my mind, wondering when I stopped being enough. I questioned my laughter, my trust, my devotion. I wondered how someone could promise forever while quietly choosing someone else. The betrayal wasn't just about what you did, it was about what you broke. The memories that once comforted me turned sharp. Every shared smile felt like a lie in hindsight. Every promise echoed with a painful emptiness. I realized that while I was holding on to us, you had already let go. I didn't cry right away. Shock wrapped itself around my emotions, numbing the pain temporarily. But when it finally reached me, it came in waves, unpredictable and overwhelming. I grieved not only the person you became, but the future I believed we were building together. You said it just happened, as if betrayal were accidental, as if choices didn't exist. Those words stayed with me, not because they explained anything, but because they showed how little responsibility you were willing to take. In that moment, I understood something devastating. Love alone isn't enough when honesty is missing. And trust, once broken, doesn't simply return. It leaves scars that memories can't erase. Life continued, but I felt frozen in place. The world moved forward while I stayed trapped inside memories that no longer felt safe. Familiar places became reminders. Songs turned into echoes of what was lost. Even silence carried your presence. I tried to understand how something so meaningful could end so quietly. How a person who once felt like home could become a stranger filled with secrets. I blamed myself more times than I cared to admit. I wondered if loving less would have saved me from hurting this much. The hardest part wasn't missing you. It was missing who I thought you were. I mourned the version of you that never truly existed, the one I believed in with unwavering faith. Letting go of that illusion felt like losing you all over again. Some days, strength felt possible. Other days, even breathing felt heavy. Healing wasn't linear. It came in fragments, small moments of clarity followed by waves of sadness. I learned that heartbreak doesn't ask permission before returning. Yet, in the quiet moments, something shifted. I began to see how much of myself I had abandoned while loving you. How I built my world around someone else and forgot to protect my own heart. The pain slowly taught me lessons I never wanted to learn. I realized that betrayal says more about the one who commits it than the one who endures it. That trust is not weakness, and loving deeply is not a flaw. The mistake wasn't caring, it was forgetting to care for myself. The memories didn't disappear, but they softened. They became reminders of resilience instead of regret. And though the tears still came, they no longer felt endless. I didn't rebuild my world overnight. Healing didn't arrive with a single decision or moment of clarity. It came slowly, through patience, self-reflection, and learning how to stand alone without feeling empty. I stopped asking why you chose someone else and started asking why I chose to stay silent for so long. I learned that love should never require losing yourself. That loyalty should never be one-sided. And that walking away from betrayal is an act of self-respect, not failure. I began to reclaim the pieces of myself I had given away. My voice. My boundaries. My sense of worth. I learned to sit with my emotions instead of running from them. To accept that pain doesn't mean weakness, it means I cared deeply, and that is nothing to be ashamed of. The tears didn't define me anymore. They became part of my story, not the ending. I understood that broken memories don't mean a broken future. They simply mark the chapters that taught me how strong I truly am. One day, I realized I no longer waited for an apology that might never come. I no longer needed closure from someone who couldn't give honesty when it mattered most. I found closure in choosing myself. I built a new world, not around someone else, but around self-worth, truth, and emotional courage. And while the scars remain, they remind me that I survived something that once felt impossible. I didn't lose everything when you left. I found myself.